We are live.
All right. Here we go. Oh, there, now I can hear myself. I was like, are we on?
No, are we on here?
All right, it is 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, and you are listening to Average Rants here at KNMC
90.1
FM.
Oh,
Get that deep voice.
yeah. That could be the cold.
Well, no, it's maybe exhausted for being in that place singing opera.
You're no longer a tenor.
I know.
More of a baritone.
I didn't know I was a tenor to begin with.
I don't know what a tenor is, but
They can hit an high C as a male.
don't know what that means.
Yeah, didn't think you would.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, community events. Let's start with that. Well, go to the library. There's books and babies. There's story time. They've got block parties happening. The library literally does something. It looks like almost every day.
It does.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. is the 4-H Chuck Wagon is a leadership training. There we go. I haven't read it on the website in a while. So we got the board leadership training at 1 p.m. for the 4-H Chuck Wagon Great Northern Fairground. Yeah. Got a Havre City Council meeting if you want to go and voice your opinion. We just use the radio.
Well, and you can't cry and complain if something happens at one of those meetings and you weren't there too.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, see what's going on. I'm pretty sure they post what they're going to be talking about.
Right. Make sure your voice is heard.
But that'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Home buyer education class is October 18th. That is at 4 p.m. at HRDC. And then, look at that. The last weekend of Lend Me a Tenor will be happening starting August 19th. And then after the 21st, you can never see it again unless you go somewhere else.
They may run it again in another year or two.
Well, I don't know. After having me in the cast, they'll be like, we can't do this again. It'll never be as good.
Are you sure they could just hire you again?
I don't do repeats unless it's financially profitable.
Oh.
What's this? On Saturday, is curling starting?
Probably.
I'm just making sure because it says Saturday at 3 p.m. they'll be doing open curling.
Probably.
All right.
I'm not in charge of that type of thing.
Because this is on the events, but then there's nothing about the adult hockey starting on the 22nd. What's with that?
There wouldn't be.
Why not?
Because we didn't put it in there.
Derek,
What?
you guys have one job.
I have multiple jobs, and I don't do any of them very well.
No, man, I don't have any jobs, and I didn't do anything with this. But yeah, I think that's good. Some events, some things happening.
Events around the world.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's new? What's exciting?
It's hockey season. Rapid. Old school. North Stars.
Yep, you can see him wearing his North Stars jersey if you go to our
How-
YouTube.
How the state of Minnesota went a decade in the 90s and 2000s without a hockey team will never make sense to me.
Well, a lot of the places in the United States go, is it worth it? And now they're starting to realize it is.
Minnesota is the one that produces more hockey players than any other state. So
And they have that high school tournament.
the
that,
largest
like,
one, yeah.
Yeah, like has more attendance than an NHL game.
They fill 24,000 seat stadiums.
And they treat it like it's an NHL game.
And
Those
and
people are
the
crazy.
tickets go for more than NHL hockey games.
Mhm.
They do. But you're looking at the future of pro hockey when you go to that thing. So many kids.
Well, and the ones that don't make it at least get that experience
Right.
one time.
It's bananas. My father-in-law, he's like, oh, he was over there for that, and he's like, I think I'll just try and get tickets to watch it. Nope, sold out.
Well,
Everything
what
gone.
you should have done is put on one of those reflective jackets, a hard hat, and carried a ladder and said you had to go do some work, and then
Right.
just let it through.
Right,
As long as you walk in like you're supposed to be there, you'll get in.
right. Wow. Just act like you're there. You're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
We've done that.
Hey, that's how we keep getting on the radio.
Right, we just walking like we own the place.
We walked in, they're like, "Are you guys on the radio?" And be like, "Yeah, sure."
Duh.
And they're like, "Well, here, take all the mail." I'm like, "Great."
Is there a check in there?
Yeah. Wouldn't have our name.
But if you walk in the bank, yeah, I need to cash this. It's made out to cash.
Yes, my name is the radio.
KNMC 90.1, obviously. So check it out, man. I found a fun news story for us.
All right.
A real live Yogi Bear.
So he's just going around and stealing baskets.
A bear broke into a Connecticut home and stole a lasagna from the freezer.
Nice.
Right? Of all the things in there, he's like, lasagna.
Well, what would you take?
Well, depending on what was in there, lasagna's at the top of the list.
Exactly. It's got everything you need to survive.
Right? The security cameras were rolling when a Connecticut home, when a bear wandered inside, stole a lasagna from the freezer and climbed out the window. He didn't hang out. He's just like, I got what I came for. I'm out.
I try to think of what I would do in that situation, and I'd probably defend my lasagna.
She has a Ring camera just like you. So you'd be like, oh, God, no, not my house.
Yeah, I'd be like, that is my lasagna. There's no way. Especially, like, it takes a lot to make one of those.
Yeah. My wife puts a lot of effort into hers too. They're amazing. Yeah, that's funny.
I'm just picturing this big bear climbing through a window, grabbing the lasagna, and then I don't know why, but because you said Yogi Bear, I'm picturing it with its paws holding the lasagna.
I'm I guess it's frozen, so it's probably like a brick.
Mm-hmm.
So
Or it was in the fridge, just from leftovers or something.
no, this was from the freezer. Opened the freezer door, snatched the lasagna, and just used the open door as a step to reach an open window. Yep. And then the Bruin burglar wandered away from the property with his frozen treat.
Nice.
What do you got there?
I just saw a thing for the school, but it's outdated.
Uh-oh.
I thought maybe I could say more things that were going around in case there's some kids listening. Oh. I finally get a week off from the play.
You guys don't have it this weekend?
Well, we have it this weekend, but we call it the week where we don't have to do rehearsals and stuff.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, just look at it this way. I only got 3 more shows that you potentially have a child.
Man, bears are taking over. Security cameras at a British Columbia gas station recorded a gummy bear heist by an unusual shoplifter.
Oh,
An actual bear!
Would you just get mad when you somebody broke in and tore up the place, and then you look at it, you're like, oh, it's an animal. There's nothing we can do.
Right? He's like, but the bear's like, of all the food that's in it, because bears can smell the food through the packaging, right?
Yeah.
Of all the food that's in there, the frozen food, the whatever's in there, possibly burritos and stuff, gummy bears.
Well, you got to think, like, they probably get in there, and they're like every other criminal. They're just almost like humans, where they're like, oh, no, I got to get stuff and get out.
Yeah, this took place in Vancouver.
There's a lot of bears. We used to have a black bear that was around ours.
Yeah.
And we were in a city, and there was a black bear.
You go down to Bozeman, they're just wandering the streets.
I was going to say something mean.
Yeah, they just wander around. They don't even care. They're like the deer around here. They're hopping my backyard fence. My dog is too old and blind and deaf to see them.
That's why you guys need a puppy.
No, we're not getting another dog.
Why wouldn't you guys want another dog? You're just going to deprive your children of the joy of having a dog.
No. We're not home enough to take care of the dog we have.
That's why you get a small one that you bring with you.
No, people like that drive me nuts.
Until it's you. We used to do that with Zelda.
No, like people who go to the store just to lock their dog in their car.
Okay, that's a little bit ridiculous, but I mean, like, you guys go and you travel up to go see the in-laws, and they've got a huge place to have the dog run around.
Yeah, but I don't want to take care of my dog while I'm on vacation. I already have to take care of my kids while I'm on vacation, which is depressing enough.
So depressing. They'll just have to come over to my place to see animals.
You have a zoo.
Yeah.
You have a hamster, a snake, lizard, a couple cats, 1.5.
Yeah, the other ones. Well, I don't know. That one is way more maintenance than it used to be. When you turn
3 dogs.
18. Yeah.
And then you were at the puppy thing the other day, like, we should get another dog.
Oh, it would be great.
Just add another $50 onto the dog food list this month.
Whatever, it's worth it. Yeah. I like cuddlers.
Dude, my kid, he takes one bite of things and just throws them in the garbage.
Oh, yeah. Well, or you give him like a donut and he just eats the topping and then hands you the donut.
And you're like, normally I would eat the rest of what you didn't eat, but you had to lick the whole thing first, so that's not happening.
No. So I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Because Halloween's coming up.
Uh-huh.
What do you think of like those videos where you see people that they dress up as like scary clowns and scare people in the middle of the night when they're walking alone?
I would hate people like that.
Yeah, like
I'm pretty sure I'd punch one of them in the face.
right? Like I'm pretty sure that they're done in a different country. Because if it was done in the United States, there'd be way higher risk of getting injured.
Right? Yeah, I'm not. I don't like scary movies. I don't like being scared, and so no, I wouldn't care for it.
I feel like, because what they would probably do is they'd be like, oh, hey, it's a joke, but that would not stop me because then I'd be even madder.
Right? Yep. No, that would just not be cool. Why people do that to others? Why do people take so much? Like they like having fun, freaking other people out.
Oh my. So,
What'd you do?
on the 6th of October,
Uh-oh.
a box of giraffe poo was seized at an airport after a woman tried to get through customs, saying it was to be used as a necklace.
Oh, my boyfriend likes the way it smells.
And apparently there was a shell in the box too, which you can't bring that either.
You can't bring poo through customs?
No, because it's going to have bacteria and stuff in it. 100% it will.
Okay. So what did she want the poo for?
For a necklace.
Legit wanted
That's what she said.
She didn't make a giraffe eat like 12 pounds of marijuana and then just try and smuggle in the poo so she could sell it.
Wouldn't that?
Like that makes more sense to me, right?
Nope, she was from Iowa. She had previously made a necklace with moose feces. So when she went on a trip, she went and got some giraffe poo.
Gross.
And apparently it can be brought into the United States with proper permits and inspections, but she failed to do so.
Nice.
So they made sure that the agricultural specialist at the airport destroyed the giraffe poop.
Nice.
Well, I don't know, find that interesting.
Well, if she's interested in a dog poo necklace, she can come to my backyard anytime and pick it up.
But it's because they're round, right?
Horses do the same thing.
Yeah, but I was just going to say, what about all the deer pellets?
Those are like pearls.
I was trying to convince the kids that there was a pine cone that they should throw the other day because there was a pile of deer food that looked like a pine cone. And they were going to do it.
That deer needed more fiber.
Yeah.
Wow. What are the subjects we get on?
Oh, well, you said you didn't have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, so
Man, I've been busy. Baldur's Gate 3, hockey season, Baldur's Gate 3.
I know, right? So I try to tell people, like, there's a lot going on right now.
And I'm going to get even less Baldur's Gate 3 starting this week, probably.
No, you just have to balance it.
Stay up later.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Go on less sleep.
Who needs sleep? That's what weekends are for.
Maximum, yeah. Ooh, there's another Bigfoot sighting in Colorado.
Mm.
Yep. Although Forest Service isn't sure what the video actually shows.
Well, of course, because, with all the tech we have nowadays, we still have blurry photos.
Yeah, we can film 1080i right on our cell phone. Why is it still blurry? I think it's just because Bigfoot himself is just blurry.
Maybe he's got how you watch those futuristic shows when they walk through and it fuzzes them out as they walk through cameras?
Right? Maybe he's just a fancy predator.
Maybe that's what we keep hearing at night when you hear those clicking sounds.
Yep. Oh. Yeah, there's just there's a lot of news going on, but it's depressing, like war and how stupid our government's being right at the moment. And I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. It's not what I don't want to talk about this stuff. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Why can't everybody just...
Why are subscriptions going up to watch TV?
Oh, it's because they had the writer's strike, which I agreed with. They weren't getting
Absolutely.
paid, but then because the writers get paid more now, the companies go, well, we don't want to have to lose
0.5% of our profits?
Yeah, we want to still gain profits. So then they increased all their prices to match so that they could, they probably increased it more than they needed to.
Oh, yeah.
To make up for the cost of the writers.
No, unless you're running in the red, you shouldn't change prices, man. If you're running in the black, making money.
Well, I don't know why.
You can't, honestly, how much money do you need?
I just don't know why people don't fight back. I'm one of them. I just don't care.
Right.
But, really think about it. When my dad was a kid, he paid like $0.25 to get a chocolate bar, a bag of chips.
Yeah.
And then
the same ingredients that go into that chocolate bar and that bag of chips cost 10 times that now.
Well,
why?
People keep going, oh, well, it's inflation. It's inflation. But what's going to happen 100 years from now? Is it going to be like $400 for a chocolate bar?
Have you seen that weird movie where instead of paying things with money, you pay for it with minutes of your life?
Yeah.
No, thank you. Because I could walk outside and get hit by a bus. How do you stop that from happening?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take every minute I got.
Yeah, inflation is...
That's a stupid argument. That's an argument for somebody who makes a buttload of money and doesn't have any, or isn't worried about losing it, right?
Yes.
So
because we argue that minimum wage isn't enough to make up for the...
So federal minimum wage is going up.
So then we're
everything else is going to go up too. And you know who it really messes with? The people who don't make minimum wage, but they don't make a livable wage either. They're the in-betweeners.
Yeah. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, So and I sit and I think, I'm like, where does this start? Does it start at the actual product that we're the very baselines for the product? So bread, is wheat cost more to plant? Where does it start? Does the plant itself cost more? Why is everything so much more expensive? We need to get someone smart in here to explain this. Where does this start?
It starts with the human race and greed,
right?
Because to me, that's all it is.
Yeah. And my hat's off, and I've said it a lot of times on this radio to the iced tea guy who has yet to raise the price of his 99-cent teas.
Yeah.
Since Arizona teas come in the giant can, they've been 99 cents since the early 90s.
Oh man,
and he's like, I still make a profit. Why would I raise the price if I'm still making a profit?
Because it's just it. Everybody's still making a profit. They realize they can make
more. Oh, it's terrible.
But the other thing that happens too, when we were noticing it when we went to Walmart, and we get this. I don't know who makes it, but it's called Yum Yum sauce, and we really like it on our rice.
Is it Yum Yum?
And we found it because we were like, oh, they moved it around. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Exact same look, exact same-ish bottle. But we were looking at it, and I'm like, isn't the one at home a little bit bigger? But this is the same price.
They did that with Gatorades too. They went from a 32 ounce to a 28 ounce, but they kept them the same. It's called microinflation or something like that.
Yeah, so they trick you into making you think you're
So,
getting the same thing.
Looking at the bottle with the naked eye, it looks identical in height. It's just a little narrower, so it holds 4 less ounces.
Yeah.
So instead of getting a 32 ounce, you can still get the 32 ounce, but they cost another $1.
And like the worst thing is like we can sit here and we can complain about it, but really, I always think, what the heck can we do? Because I mean, you're gonna buy it anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. Drives me crazy, and it's really hard. They're like, oh, why are you guys struggling to live? We're doing just fine. Yeah, you make thousands of dollars to sit on your hands and stare at a wall. I have to work. To cover the pumpkins I paid for yesterday, I have to work 4 hours on Monday.
That's ridiculous,
right? It was for a good cause, but I'm just saying.
Eventually, inflation's going to get so high that nobody's going to be able to afford like anything, and companies are going to have to lower their price again. Like I don't know. I feel like the government should regulate it in some way.
But we are not that type of guy. We're not that type. That's why everybody likes coming here, because we are a free market. So you can come in here and make as much money as you want.
Yeah, as long as people buy it, you can sell it.
Yeah. And I tell people, like, why is it so expensive? Because you continue to buy it.
Yes.
I would like everybody to try a social experiment. Don't buy a certain product. We should just pick one. And no one buy it for 6 months and just watch that product's price go.
Yeah.
It'll just tank.
I think it's funny with like cell phones. But I worked for a company that made the slot machines, and the slot machines that they were making were outdated, and they actually had an end of life clock, kind of like the Y2K kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the company I worked for was making these tiny little chips that you could put in them that would kind of add more time to the clock. And the guy that I was working for, he would sell them for $200 each, these little chips. They cost him 10 cents to make.
Right.
So he would get like a bulk of, like, as long as he bought a bulk of 50, it was 10 cents each.
Yep.
And he was selling them for $200.
Well, think about it. Like, you go to the store, milk's $5 a gallon, I would say, on average. Well, they're probably selling that to the grocery store for $3 a gallon. Right? They're making it for $1 a gallon, selling it for $3 a gallon to the distributors, who would then turn around and sell it for $5 a gallon.
Yeah.
In this day and age, with the way the internet works and the way we can go straight, and a lot of people do, they skip the middleman. They skip selling it from the retailer. Right? For the longest time, the only way you could get something was you had to go to someplace who could sell it. Well, with the internet now, I can go right to the reseller, or right to the wholesale, and get it for half the cost, because he's not losing any money giving it to the retailer first and then to me.
Yeah.
Which sucks, because guess who those retailers are usually the small local jobs that, right?
Yeah. I still don't know. Like, I feel like, I know, like, through my lifetime so far, inflation has been huge. Like, we've jumped from 25 cents to now, what is a chocolate bar last time we were in there? Like $3 almost at a gas station.
Yeah, the gas station. Well, they range from anywhere from like $1.69 for the. So this is one thing that bothered me about candy bars. So they took a Snicker bar and they cut it into 2. So you get 2 pieces of Snicker bar. But when they do that, it actually makes the candy bar smaller than it would if they had just left it whole. So they're selling you less candy bar for more.
Nice.
No, it's not. That's rude. I want the whole. I don't want my candy bar cut in half.
I don't buy candy bars from the gas station as much anymore.
But I mean, even if you went to like Walmart or IGA or anywhere,
yeah,
they do that. You're like, don't want 2 small candy bars. I want the one big one.
I don't know. I always wonder if I feel like I got a good, I don't know, hopefully at least 40 years in me. I'm pretty tired right now, so 40 seems like a long time away. But
How have the last 39 gone?
Oh, pretty good. But I just wonder, are we? So if we look at the math from when we were,
I'm looking at a $10 soda by the time I'm 80.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
right?
Like, is that really where we're going before people, like, I'm wondering, when are people gonna start being like, whoa, we can't have this?
They should start doing it now, unfortunately.
Yeah,
They
but
don't.
I mean, people are just so like look at the like iPhones and Samsung phones and Android phones. They just
So-
literally get made every year.
They have the major car dealer, the major car manufacturer strikes going on right now. Some of them have ended. They've even been in Canada. Canada's settled, I think, though. But a car is already a brand new car. A brand new Chevy pickup is running you $70,000.
I'd rather buy a house.
A brand new house right now in this town's running you in between 150
Yeah,
and
you-
250.
You have to
And
pick.
And that's a low end house.
You got to pick between the two. That's what it feels like these days.
Do I want to live or do I want to eat or do I want to live in a place in a house?
Yeah.
And rent is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, like as soon as rent was starting to get to like $2,000 for like a 2-bedroom.
So when I first got out of high school in the early 2000s, way early 2000s, my buddy and I rented a trailer. It cost us $280 a month.
Yeah, like with my wife and I were in a basement apartment that was like fairly decent size, and it was $400 a month in the middle of a city.
Like it's insane,
And like we were within walking distance of her school.
right?
And like now, man, like we've thought about renting out like our
My
basement.
first car payment, granted it was a used car, was $60 a month. On top of with the insurance was another $30. So I paid less than $100 a month for my car insurance and my car payment, and I split rent with two other guys. So I was paying like $90. That's like less than $200 a month went to bills.
Yeah.
And the rest I could do. And guess what? I was still broke.
Yeah, and I think the worst thing is like
I had a bit of a video game problem.
well, I remember getting paid $6.25 an hour at a job for minimum wage, and I was able to have a place, pay my car insurance,
Yeah.
have a car, pay for gas, and this is in Canada where gas prices are always higher, and everything was fine. And then now I've grown where we're modifying, so we're able to handle that. But at the same time, my little sister, which is 12 years younger than me, is like going insane because she has to, and I mean, she's got her own practice for dealing with like social work kind of stuff, and she's a psychiatrist. She's got her own practice. She also works for a hospital, and she's barely making ends meet with 2 jobs.
So-
and they're not small paying jobs.
Well, and a lot of the issue I know down here, especially in the United States, is people. One of the things that we pay for that we don't use are insurance.
Oh man.
Like your health insurance. That's one of the so health insurance makes no sense when you break it down. You're paying a health insurance company $300 a check to pay for an injury you have yet to sustain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get injured, you go to the doctor, you get a $2,500 doctor bill. They pay it. That's great. But I've been paying $300 a month for the last 10 years, and I've only been injured once, right?
Yep.
We can cut out this, and we've tried. Other countries do it. In Canada, they do it. They do it in Europe too. That you pay a little bit more in taxes,
Yeah, we pay like a 1% extra tax.
right? So and I've broken that. It comes to like $20 a paycheck or $40 a paycheck.
Well, a good way to explain it would be when we lived in British Columbia doesn't charge you a tax, but you have to pay a monthly fee of, I believe it was $50 unless you worked. If you worked for a company, then that company would pay your health insurance, right?
Yeah.
But that's like $50 a month for.
But
No
you
cost.
explain this to some people and they're like, I don't want to be paying for someone else's healthcare. You're not.
Well, they kind of are right now, except for they're giving it to insurance companies.
So the insurance company that you've given the $300 a month to for the last 15 years has made $3 million off of you, and they've paid $2,500.
Yeah, because they take the money that you give, put it in stocks, and gain money off of your money.
So they lose. So when and this is funny, they'll argue with you about what. Are you sure your bill was that much?
Oh yeah.
Are you sure?
Or my favorite is I look at it, I'm like, it says here that I am covered for stitches, but why was my bill $500? And they're like, oh, because you went to the ER. I was like, because my face was bleeding.
Right? I needed stitches.
So you're saying that I have to go not to ER and I have to go to a doctor that I have to wait a week to get my stitches.
Oh, so that's another thing I love. Like, oh, I'm feeling really sick. I need some antibiotics. We can get you in 2 weeks. I'll be over this in 2 weeks
Right.
or dead.
Yeah.
Seriously. Well, you could go to the ER. Oh, yeah, because that's a trip I want to make. No, I don't want to go to the ER.
The thing I don't like about going to the ER.
Don't get me wrong. I love the doctors. I'm glad they're there. But wow, we suck at healthcare.
Well, like when I took that puck to the face, and
I wish I'd seen it.
I knew I had to get stitches because I went into the bathroom, cleaned it up, and I was like, I can see my tooth through that. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need stitches. But in my head, I'm like,
Do I need stitches?
do I have to go to the ER? Can I
Right.
wait a couple days and just put some crazy glue on it? I don't know. But like where I'm from, man, heck, I feel sick. I can go, I'm going to go to the hospital and make sure that it's not something else.
And somehow we're brainwashed down here to think that in Canada it takes months to get into a doctor.
No, I have never had a problem getting into the hospital, getting into something if it was an emergency.
Right.
As you lower, so like my wife needed a surgery and we had to wait a month. I don't think that's a long wait.
Well, as long as it's not life-threatening.
No, it was just a basic surgery. And then, I mean, I don't know. I went to a hospital down in Georgia. I thought I broke my back.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went in there. I got into the hospital right away, got into bed like instantly. 4 hours later, somebody came and saw me. So I was like, in Canada, when you get brought in and you're in the back, they see you within 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, good news. The wife and I are almost ready to pay off our second child. He's 4.
No. That's crazy. We
like, isn't that nuts? 4 years.
We argued with the hospital to lower our bill because they tried to turn the bedroom that we never left and all the stuff was already in that turned into a delivery room. I'm doing air quotes. When the doctor walked in the room to deliver the kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense. They're like, oh, well, they brought in more equipment. I was like, no, they didn't. It was the exact stuff that was in there.
What type of equipment do you need to pull? You need a plunger and like a turkey grabber and a baster, and you just pull.
Right. And then the other argument we had too, and I was like, on top of that, I didn't get a paycheck. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, you guys were short-staffed, so I stepped in and helped. So where's my paycheck?
Right. Did they ask you to cut the thing?
No, because the cord was around her neck, so he had to get it done.
And so I went in there for both of my wives. She had C-section. She didn't have to do that whole push and hee and breathing thing. But the doc's like, you want to look? I'm like, no. Why would I want to look? Do you want to cut the cord? No. You're paying you for that, right?
Just get me to do your job.
Are you going to knock $60K off the bill? Because I might consider it.
The other thing that kind of confused us too was we got a bill from the hospital. And then like a month later, we got a bill from the doctor. And I was like, aren't you part of the hospital?
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't understand. So
we did it twice because we had the 2 kids we learned the first time. The first time I went through and we're like, why is the bill so high? And so my wife's like, well, can I get an itemized thing to see what we're paying for? The bill dropped $8,000.
Just because you asked
for an itemized bill. Something is wrong here.
Well,
and they did it twice.
Well, this is why I like Canada. I know we have universal health care, but the whole point of that is it means it is run by the government. So they are monitored.
Yeah.
And they can't just throw prices.
And another thing is like, why don't people go to the doctor? It's expensive. We can't afford to go to the doctor. Well, in Canada or in Europe or wherever they offer free healthcare, like, oh yeah, I just go in and they write me out. I see a doc for 10 minutes. They write me a script. I'm out my $5 copay for the script. You're healthier. You don't get sick as often, which means the government doesn't pay as much money to the hospitals. right?
The university here does this thing where every 6 months we can come in and get free health checks. And that's because if you're getting monitored, you're getting checked, and all that kind of stuff. It's just people that know me.
They just know you.
Yeah, it's part of the D&D group that I
Yeah.
do here. But, they go in, and if you're doing regular checks, then you're not going to need the big surgeries.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll catch it sooner and therefore don't need the big surgery. They can usually fix it. So there's companies here that you can work for, like the school is one of them, that understands that it's cheaper for them because they have to pay for some of the insurance costs, right? It's cheaper for them to keep you healthy and pay for these extra things than to have you go to the emergency.
They can't afford to lose you. They're like, oh, we need you working. We don't need you sitting at home collecting a check.
Well, and the more an employee goes and uses their insurance, the higher the cost comes back for the people that are paying for it from the businesses.
So it's like mind baffling to me that people are like, no, we don't want to give any more money to the government. You're not giving it to the government. You're giving it so you can go to the doctor whenever you have anything wrong with you.
Yep.
Right?
I don't know. I always find it weird. I feel like people are fine with giving an individual money. Like, you go to Walmart, you're buying something from there. You're giving it to the guy that owns it.
You're giving a billionaire more billions.
Right? But if it comes down to, well, what if I just do my daily, what if we went to Walmart and you were buying something and that money went to somebody that didn't have much?
Yeah. And I apologize to all the insurance agents out there, but you really are kind of useless. We can live without you. Your job sucks, all right? You cost people thousands of dollars a year, literally, for something that they'll never use up. You'll pay 10 times more in insurance than you'll ever get out of it.
I always get confused when
Unless you're hit by a bus and put together like RoboCop, you're never going to use up all the money you pay into it.
Whenever I'm asked if I want life insurance, and I'm like, well, how much would
Life insurance is different than health insurance.
Yeah, no, but life insurance, I always look at it, I'm like, I can never figure it out because the way that they talk about it, whenever they're talking to me about it, is if I was to, say, die in 20 years and I had been paying it for 20 years, then I would give my family like $1 million. I was like, you'd be broke. The way I feel like it works is you say that, and then as soon as I croak, my family fights for years trying to get that money.
Yes, yeah. Insurance companies, life insurance are pretty okay. My dad had life insurance through the railroad, so his paid out as it said it would, but it wasn't it just depends on your policies. The higher the policy, yes, the harder it is to get it back.
I always just feel like that whenever something sounds good, there's something
There's a
wrong.
catch. There's always a catch to it. Trust me, there's always a catch to it. But the minute they're like, oh, God, I can't. Yeah, it means it. Like my dad's insurance policy wasn't huge by any stretch of imagination. Most people just get an insurance policy big enough to cover their funeral. Do you know what it costs to bury somebody these days?
A shovel in a backyard.
Well, that, and if you in a cemetery, you have to pay rent.
Oh yeah, you have to buy a plot.
Buy it or rent it.
Yeah. Just like renting.
It's so I've come up with this. I'm like, you don't have to bury me. You can burn me. And I went through this with so this is a funny story. So my dad passed away and he wanted to be cremated. I'm like, all right, let's do that. All right, he wants to do that. So they take me into the back and like, here's all your options because he has to be in something when they cremate him.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he does. I'm looking at my options. There's like a $4,000 wooden, gloriously carved box all the way down to this $150 cardboard and strips of ladder board, cheapo stuff. I'm like, cardboard box is what he would come out of the grave if I spent $4,000 on a box that I was going to burn.
I've stuck to this and I've told my wife, I was like, cremate me and then whatever you can fit me in because I'm not going to be in it long. Because then as soon as that happens, she has to go to the person that I deemed to her before I die that was the person I hated the most.
Oh, I'm getting your ashes, ain't I?
And then she has to throw me at them.
Oh,
and then
please don't do that to me, Sammy.
Yeah, and then I'll put in the will that they can charge me. They can put me in jail. They can put my ashes in jail. But I was like, that way I get the last laugh.
So here's the thing, like what am I gonna? So unless it's in your will, and what what do I care? I'm dead.
Yeah.
What's the worst gonna happen to me? And I'm already done. I'm out.
I just want to know that while I'm going, a funny thing's going to happen.
Yeah.
At least to me.
Yeah. Like when my dad passed and they got the ashes, they're like, would you like to keep some? No. I don't even feel comfortable that we have our dog on my mantle. But she's in a plastic tin. It's not an urn. I couldn't do. If it were an urn, I'd be like, okay, that's got to go in the basement where I can't see it. I don't want something dead in the same room with me all the time.
I feel like I need to, because you can buy those little cheap bronze urns.
Here. If I die and you're still 3D printing stuff, will you 3D print my urn?
Yes, and I'll 3D print the score of the last Minnesota Toronto game.
7-4. It was always 7-4. Yeah, like my sister got a locket with some of the. Like some people, that's great. Like do whatever you want, but I don't want.
You can get ashes turned into a diamond now.
Yeah.
Like, man, you could make me a ring.
You know what? People are profiting off of that. I'm profiting off somebody's death.
That's what a funeral home does.
Did you see? Have you heard the story about the dude who had his wife placed in a coffee table?
Oh yeah.
And she's in his living room.
Oh man.
So she's been dead for like a decade, but he had her preserved in a coffee table. So he sees her and he's like, can you sit there watching a hockey game and you got your Coca-Cola sitting on your wife's face?
Oh,
so weird, right? Like, yeah, like, how's it going? You
Well, and I mean,
I love my wife, love her, but I'm not preserving her in my coffee table.
Well, I mean, when you move on, how are you going to do that if she's watching you?
You bring over a date, you're like, who's this? It's my former wife.
It's my ex.
Well, how'd she end up in there?
Don't.
She overcooked the meatloaf.
Amanda was right now being like, I never overcooked them.
She has not. She makes it really. As far as meatloaf, I'm not a huge fan, but her meatloaf is really good because it's wrapped in barbecue or in bacon and smothered in barbecue sauce, so it's pretty awesome.
I don't know. I've never seen it. I don't believe you.
Yeah, you pull that all the time.
Yeah, it works.
Got cinnamon rolls last weekend.
Oh, it was so good. And then all we had to do was bring donuts the next one. I was going to make little egg sandwiches, but you have a disease.
So I've seen a disease. I'm allergic to eggs.
Yeah, a disease.
So have you seen the people that stuff their pets when they die?
Oh, that's so creepy.
Like your cat, when she's asleep, your old one, looks dead already, right?
For me, I don't know what it is, but if I
My dog is the same way.
If I go to a museum or like something like that, and you see where they have stuffed like animals so that you can see them where you normally wouldn't.
Right.
Some kids they've never seen a deer because they live in the city.
Right.
But when you walk into somebody's home and I see like the deer heads on the wall or like a cat in the corner, I'm always like, this is creepy.
This is a lovely room of death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take care then. Bye-bye.
I always said, because like our dog Frankie is super, like I took 16 pounds of hair off of her today, and I'm pretty sure there's another 16 ready to go. But she's so soft. Like in the Arctic, when their dogs like this die, they turn them into gloves. I'm like, you'd make a perfect set of mittens.
I've always wondered, like, because I owned a husky. She has a husky.
No, she's something.
But she at least has the hair like one.
Yeah, she's puffy.
What would happen if you like cleaned it and put it in a pillow? Would it be a really nice pillow?
I don't know about a pillow.
Well, because like they do that with down, they do it with
feathers are one thing, fur is another.
Yeah, but they also do it with like sheep's wool.
Wool, which is different.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Dog is fur.
There's got to be some way to make profit off of our dogs. Inflation, dude.
I know. I should start selling my dogs dispatchment out here. Like it's terrible.
I mean, a lady was gonna make a necklace
out of giraffe
food. Yeah. And you're telling me that we can't sell dog hair?
Yes, we can sell dog
Yeah.
hair. Is your dog losing his hair? We'll sell him a wig. Cancer patient dog.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go on eBay and put like 3 grams of dog hair.
Because you got a similar, Odin is similar, not as long haired as Frankie is, but like I bet you he's got the wicked undercoat like her. So when he molts, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, but he's the weirdest dog that I've ever had. Most dogs, when you go to brush them, they love it.
No, mine hates it.
No?
Oh.
Oh, every dog I've had.
It could be the shop vac that's running at the same time because I've got hair literally going everywhere because she's just molting.
Oh, yeah, you shop vac it or something.
Well, she's deaf, so she can't hear the vacuum going, and I just suck the hair up as I'm pulling it off of her.
Yeah.
And it comes off in fistfuls, and there's still more.
Yeah, well, I mean, just put on a hockey game and comb her until it's done.
Oh, I can't do it in the house. It just doesn't happen. Like we get done vacuuming the whole house. 10 minutes later, there's puff balls just like falling off of her. She's walking to the door.
We had rabbits. I don't know if you remember when we had the rabbits.
We weren't friends when you had the rabbits.
No. You missed out.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I've been around rabbits.
We would brush them because they would get little clumps too. But their hair is so like it's like woof, through the air for days.
And I've seen that it's a defense mechanism for some animals. Like cats have it, and I think rabbits do too. Like they will literally, if they get terrified or fearful, they'll molt. Literally, they'll let their hair fall. Their hair will fall out so they can get away. Kind of creepy. Ugh.
I'm glad I can't do that.
I don't have enough hair.
Well, maybe that's what happened. You're constantly in defense mode.
No. You see me play defense. It's not good.
It's better than goalie.
In a week, we'll find out.
Yeah, I already told you what my first thing's gonna be. I'm gonna cup check you.
And
Just make sure that make sure you wear it.
every time.
Yeah.
I don't take the ice and goalie gear if I
And
don't have
Amanda, I've decided that I'm gonna aim for right here.
the point of the shoulder.
Yeah.
Why?
Because there's a small gap depending on how you lift that arm. I'll hit
Armpit.
it.
That's a rough one. That is definitely a rough one.
Oh, I am excited to play hockey again, though. And I'm glad the times didn't change because I didn't want to drive.
They did the one time changed a little bit, but I mean it's 50
Yeah, but
minutes.
50 minutes versus an hour.
Yeah, that's rough.
Because, like, I mean, I can't even stay up past 11 that much.
20 years ago, you'd be like, oh, whatever.
Like, 20 years ago, I was driving an hour and a half and then get home at 3 in the morning to play hockey.
Right. Now, what are you old now? Is that what it is?
No, it's just not worth it.
You're old.
I mean, I don't know if
You
there
don't
was-
recover like you used to, do you?
No. Like it's gonna take me this week to get so I'm so sore from doing the play 3 nights in a row that when I stood up this morning, I almost could tell I popped my knee. And last night I was playing a bit of a game, trying to just unwind before I went to bed, and I sneezed and my back blew.
Oh,
Like
been there.
I thought I blew my back out just from sneezing. Ugh.
Yeah.
Sammy came running in because I was like, and she's like, what happened? I was like, I sneezed.
A lot of it is too, Barry. You and I are both in the same boat. We need to lose our summer weight. I eat so well in summer, and like you'd think I would actually. No, it's too hot. I don't want to go outside.
Yeah.
And like springtime is this time of year. I love the fall. Fall is one of my favorite times of year
Why don't you just go for a run?
because it's running.
You used to go for runs with me.
Yeah.
We did that twice.
I know, and I ran every day. You met up with me twice.
Yeah, it's because you wanted to run at like 5 in the morning. That was
I
stupid.
had to be to work at 6 in the morning.
That sounds like a you problem.
But running is way too hard on my freaking joints. Okay,
Yeah, skating's very low impact.
right? And now I can skate. I can just go skate,
Yeah.
and it works twice as hard.
Yeah, when are we starting the learn to skate?
First weekend in November.
First weekend in November.
So for those of you who think I'm too old to start playing hockey, stop thinking that. What would you know? You don't know anything about hockey. You can start playing hockey at any age.
Yeah, I've got 3 people that I think I've convinced to come.
Oh yeah, who's that?
I've got Casey,
Oh,
Kyra,
oh yeah.
and then I have a 57.
Did you find Casey some giant shoe-size skates?
I thought we would just check up there, see if anything's changed.
I think Charlie's old skates are up there.
That's what I'm wondering. But then we also have the what is it called? The rental skates.
Those only go up to like a size 12.
They only have a size 12. But he did say he actually has a lower shoe size, that he has to get higher skate sizes because, higher shoe sizes because he has wide feet. So as long as we have skates that can kind of fit him that are not that big. But I told him we'd take a look.
The good news is Van and I were going through our hockey gear today. I have 3 extra sets of my own.
I have an extra pair of skates, but I just
skates, sets of gear. Skates I don't have extra of.
well, I think I have 1 or 2 sets of gear.
So, but we could definitely get Kyra on the ice.
Yeah, I think we can get Kyra, and then I got a 57-year-old that I've convinced because he said he had a knee problem. I was like, well, I mean, we'll teach you skate. It's low impact.
Yeah, so we're like, yes, we will. We're teaching you hockey is one of the many aspects of what we'll teach you, but we'll teach you how to skate. We'll teach you how to move around on the ice, and it's good for your joints and ligaments. It stretches the muscles you don't normally use.
Well, and I've been convincing people because they think that you have to go out there and
they watch
go
too
crazy.
much television.
Well, they think you have to go crazy, and I'm like, no. The way that we do it is you're going to go out there, your ankles are going to hurt within about 10 minutes.
Not even.
Get off the ice. You can be done at that point.
Sit. Yeah.
And I was like, just have some fun. Get off the ice. And then relax. If it feels a little bit better, skate a little bit longer, come back off.
So what we're talking about is the Learn to Skates at the Havre Ice Dome every Sunday at 1 p.m. This is completely free for anybody who wants to try.
You just got to get a hold of us.
Yeah, you get a hold of us. You show up at the rink. If we're out there on the ice, you just wave at us and tell us to come. I've done that. Gavin, that's how Gavin's like, how does this work? Am I get stuff? Yeah. You want to do this? I'll get you some stuff and you come right out and you can skate.
We want people to try it. And I don't want people to be afraid of it.
Unfortunately, when you get old, you get afraid of falling.
Yeah, but I just mean like a lot of people keep being like, oh, like Casey, he was like, I'm afraid of contact sports. I was like, it's not contact unless you make it contact.
Yeah, for the most part, we're non-contact, mostly.
Well, and I mean, even then, like, I told him, I said, if you touch the puck, just throw it away. If there's a big pile of people, stay away from it. You can choose in this sport at the level that is at to not engage and just have fun.
Yeah.
I was like, heck, we went to a tournament and there was a person on our team that couldn't get from the red line to the blue line. And they had a ball, even though they never touched the puck.
Yeah.
It would just, you'd see them skate back, forth.
So what we got to do is we got to get Jerry Kewen's highlight reel of him standing at the blue line.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It is usually called cherry picking, but we've renamed it to Jerry picking.
Yep.
So
he's the cherry picker of the team.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's like, I'm too old to be skating all the way down the end of the ice. I'm just gonna stand right here.
He was. He refused to let me help make the team for Kalispell, but he likes to keep me informed about it because he would say, "Oh, I haven't heard from these people." I was like, "Well, I know all of these. I named you Amanda. I named Jeff. What's his last name now? Kursick.
Yep.
And I was talking about like Braden, and I was like, I'm sure we can get any one of those, or like to come. And he was like, Barry, I didn't ask for your help making the team. I will let you know if I can't find somebody. I was like, okay. And he said, that being said, I'm the only one that's so bad that has to sit on the red line. He's like, I don't need more of me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Jerry, it's on you.
That's a high end tournament though, isn't it?
It's you can do high end. We do the intermediate, where intermediate is sometimes intermediate and sometimes still high. Yeah. So we usually try to bring that. We bring usually 1 to 3 beginners just to give them a taste of what higher level looks like. Because it is like we went to it and we've been beaten so bad, and then we play another game and it's a good game. We play another game, it's a blowout because it's too easy, and then next game destroy.
I think that's just on the people who put on the tournament. Like they need to start paying more attention to that. Like you can look at guys,
hard.
Right?
How do you?
But you don't want to be like, no, we turn you away because we're turning away money for a pro.
Yeah.
The odds of most tournaments that we do as adults are fundraisers for something else.
Yeah.
So in our case, we do fundraising for our youth hockey. Like all the money that our adult hockey league makes goes to the youth hockey programs. It helps building the kids.
Well, we've got our team looks like a powerhouse.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Just don't tell them about your back.
It's just sad to me that I still feel like I'm a decent hockey player. I know my energy isn't what it used to be, and my speed has Probably toned.
Barry, why'd you score on that last play in overtime? Because I couldn't skate anymore.
I was tired.
You didn't even play every game of the tournament.
Yeah, but I was on another team.
Yeah.
I played on two teams.
That sounds like you shouldn't be dual rostering like that.
But I love this sport.
Yeah.
And this year, I don't know. I'm really tempted to not play in Hell Freeze this year, and I almost just want to sit there and announce it.
That was a lot of fun.
I had so much fun doing that. I was so tired though, but we drank, we had fun, we had people come in and we bring.
That was not a
guests.
PG broadcast.
It was not. Like we had to do that on a private channel. But I thought it was fun, and so many people from around the state, like
when you got recognized next year in Great Falls.
Yeah, just because the guy heard my voice.
Are you Barry Brownlee?
Oh, I was so scared. we were at that beginner tournament.
You thought you were busted. Like
I was like, oh no, he knows
I'm a former OHL player playing in a beginner tournament. I am in so much trouble.
He knows I'm not a beginner. Oh no.
Dude, I heard you in the Hell Freeze radio tournament last year. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, they were asking if I was doing it again.
We got to get Thomas up there because he like I can barely see people out there. I can identify a lot of people, but Thomas knows the state.
You gotta get Amanda to figure out if we can do that again. I think it was a lot of fun, but the problem is I don't know if they've changed their internet, so it's not like slow as molasses.
Laggy and choppy.
Because people didn't seem to care that we had a GoPro as the camera. I mean, heck, these days my cell phone's probably able to do it. You just set up a tripod.
Yeah, we could do it over YouTube, which better than Twitch. But.
Yeah, we just put the "Are you over 18?" because of the language that we use when we've been eating poutine and drinking for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
But I think it got a positive thing, especially when Jerry was down getting some video footage.
And we could play that for people. It was a good time.
Yeah.
He would email it to you and you would upload it and.
Oh yeah, but we did it so fast. Like I couldn't believe how quick we were able to splice things up. That was good.
Thank you, COVID.
Yeah, that was because of COVID. That's right.
Yeah, because the Canadian teams couldn't come down. So you know what?
So we made it so people could at least see it.
I think honestly, I think if people had known more about it, like the people who can't come to the rink when their husbands are playing because they have kids and stuff, they would turn the game on at their house and watch it. Well, and we are excitable when we're announcing a hockey game. Like
the only thing that I am slightly upset with is because I was still sitting on the board as the Maha rep when they were talking about getting like live barn and the camera stuff in there, and I told them, I was like, just put a camera up there, get decent internet, and I will broadcast. Because I was like, I'll go up there. I can talk hockey all day. And I wanted it because every time I turn on the radio and I hear, like a Sugar Beaters basketball.
Right here, Average Rants announcing hockey games.
Yeah, like that's just what I want to do.
Unfortunately, we can't be as colorful as we normally are.
No, we would have to pull it back a bit. But all we have to do is just not drink. Much.
You just lost me.
We still have poutine.
If I gotta sit up at the hockey rink for 72 hours and talk hockey, I'm gonna need a drink.
No. If we're doing Hell Freeze,
I'm gonna need a drink.
We're going on a private jet. But anyway, we're going off about hockey. We'll leave you guys with that.
Yeah, next week probably be our last weekend.
Are we going to be? Oh yeah, because we'll still have we won't have the adult thing yet.
Yeah, the adult thing starts the following weekend.
Yep. So you get one more time with us, and then from that point on, it's random for when we can make it.
We're not too exhausted to be here.
Yeah, but yeah, you've been listening to Average Rants here at KNMC
90.1
FM.